We have a day today, and we're blessed in Region 2, bright sunshine, because we had some rains. And to all other visiting delegation, I say a warm welcome. So this morning, our president is here. So we'll have our Honorable Minister of Agriculture to address you first. So over to Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Your Excellency, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Cabinet colleagues, officials from the various ministries, and more importantly, invitees. A very good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning. So I'm happy to be here in the company of His Excellency today. We have a number of meetings. We just came from visiting a site that GWI is doing a water treatment plant. And the President is in Essequibo today to look at some of the development taking place and to tell you what we will continue to do in this important region. And you know, Region 2 is an important region, not just for agriculture, but we want Region 2 to be a all-round region. But over the last 4 years, we have seen a renewed interest, a renewed hope, a renewed life, so to speak, in this region. We have seen a period when this region was stagnated, when people lost hope, when many persons would have migrated and leave this region, when they thought that, look, there's no hope in this region, we have to go and find opportunities in other places. Some even migrated overseas. But then, during that period, we have had a regular presence here on the Essequibo coast. And during that time, many leaders from the People's Progressive Party came to the Essequibo coast. You all relate your concern. And all those concerns that were related, we made a commitment that we'll deal with it when we get back into government. When His Excellency was the presidential candidate also, a number of times he came here, I accompanied him, and many of the issues that you all were faced with was raised with him. And he made a pledge, he made a commitment, and he told you all that when the PPP Civic returns to government, that we will deal with those issues. And after 4 years, just over 4 years, as Minister of Agriculture, I'm happy not only in my sector, but in all the other sectors. We have witnessed massive development taking place in all the sector in the Essequibo coast. Today, we have seen a transformation of the Essequibo. We have seen a renew, as I said, a renewed hope just in the agriculture sector. And I can go and highlight where we were and where we are today and where we will be going in the coming years. For example, for the first time in the history, and this is a monumental achievement, these figures that I will give you. For the first time since the introduction of rice planting, and I know that rice is a main source activity in this community in Region 2. For the first time in the history of our country, we will be producing, or we have already produced, 725,000 tons of rice. And this didn't come about because we wish to increase production. It came about with a vision, a government that has a vision, a government that is being led by a visionary. And I can remember when we were appointed ministers, the President charged us that we must ensure that we make these sectors that we are responsible for vibrant. And today, I want to tell you, with the leadership that our President is giving us as a country, we have seen massive transformation. For the first time on the Essequibo here, we have seen the last crop. We have planted 36,000 acres of rice. And that will continue to increase. And this came about because of the investment. Over the last 4 years, approximately $10 billion was expended in the agriculture sectors alone. We as a government, we never thought that rice activity or rice growing business is a private business. We arrested the situation when we got back into government. You all remember the Panama issue. Farmers were exporting their paddy to Panama. And the previous government left those farmers on their own. As a result of that, the contract that we signed when we were in government prior to 2015, the contract was stopped by the Panamanian government, and over $1.5 billion was owed to the rice farmers in our country. When we were in opposition, that was raised with us. And we made a commitment that we will try to get your money. We took the matter to arbitration, and with the intervention of His Excellency the President, recently we received the money, and the farmers of our country who were denied that payment when the APNU AFC was in government, they were paid 4 months ago and to an amount of $1.5 billion. Those are the commitments I'm talking about. We have seen massive investment for the last 4 years in the D&I sector. We have witnessed thousands of rods of canals being rehabilitated and being excavated. I myself met with you a number of times. You raised concerns that the canals need to be rehabilitated. Over 60 canals that the regions were contracted to farmers and other small contractors. We desilted those canals and we handed back to the region. We increased the rate that the region have been paying to almost $90 now per rod that the regions are paying. Those are the kind of development that we're talking about. Those are the kind of investment that we are making. And today, let me tell you frankly, I have been going to a number of agricultural forums in the Caribbean. And I am proud to know that the entire Caribbean, they are looking towards Guyana for that leadership. Why? And not so long ago, I've been making this point on a number of forums. Not so long ago, Guyana, when I became Minister of Agriculture, CARICOM wanted to craft a food strategy. And Guyana had lost its place because since the formation of CARICOM, Guyana always lead on food security and agriculture. We had lost our place from 2015 to 2020 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But in 2021, at the first heads of government meeting in Belize that the president attended, he rescued that position once again. And today, Guyana is leading. Guyana is the leading light in CARICOM. Today, the entire CARICOM, all 15 member states in CARICOM, and the 5 associated states have a lot of regards for Guyana. Today, we are now helping a number of countries in the Eastern Caribbean, places like Barbados, whose economies were built on tourism. Today, they are involved in a number of agricultural activities because they recognize what we are doing are things that can sustain them for a long time to come. During the COVID pandemic, many countries that had large sums of money were unable to procure food. Today, they are now involved in food production because they see the vision. They see the vision of His Excellency the President of Guyana. And all of us as Guyanese should be proud that our President is leading not only our country, but the entire CARICOM region in food security. So comrades, the crops, what we have been producing over the centuries, We are now expanding. We are seeing increased production. But we are not stopping there. We are producing 60% of the food that we are consuming in our country. The president said we must strive to produce all. We must produce all the food. So what he gave us direction, the vision that he has. He wants Guyana to be that food production country. He wants Guyana to ensure that we be a food hub in the region. And we are striving towards that. We have gone into new areas. For the first time, we are now producing our own corn and soya. We are hoping by the end of 2025 that we can produce all our needs and also be a net exporter to the region. If we can do that, we'll be saving $40 million annually in importing feed for the livestock industry. We have transformed barren land in the Tacoma Savannah. We have built hundreds of kilometers of roads. We have built modern silos, 18,000 tons of silos. We are building a wharf with a conveyor system, hoping by the end of next year, we can start to cultivate 25,000 acres of corn and soya 2 times per year, where we will be satisfy our needs. Also, we are now developing the Kimbia area, where we will be planting red beans and black-eyed peas. By the mid-first quarter of next year or mid-next year, we are hoping to produce all our needs and also export those crops. As I'm speaking now, we are building a food hub on the Linden-Soos-Dyke Highway. We are building that food hub at a cost of $14 million. You heard the president would have pronounced already that they are looking at a ferry service between Guyana, Trinidad, and Barbados. We are hoping that when the ferry comes to Guyana, you, the farmers who will be farming, will have an opportunity to sell your produce there, because we have to ensure that we provide the necessary export out there. So that is the way we are setting up our country. Although we are an oil and gas producing country, although we have seen many persons express interest in the oil and gas industry, today we are seeing massive transformation in the agriculture sector. Today we have seen a renewed hope. Today we are seeing tons of people coming back to invest in agriculture, because we have to produce more food. We have to produce more food, we have to reduce import, and we are striving to be there. Right here in the Essequibo coast, in the Pomeroon was left neglected. When we went there, I accompanied the president there, 6 o'clock in the morning. He came from overseas, and right away we flew to the Pomeroon area. Farmers were hopeless. The president spoke to a number of farmers, and he instructed that we'll work with them. Since then, what we have done, you go back to the Pomeroon, we have done thousands of rods of bed and drains. We have lifted the beds. We have desilted the canals. We have provided 2 pontoons or 4 excavators with pontoons so that they can assist the farmers. We are providing free planting materials. We are trying to resuscitate the coffee industry back once again on the Pomeroon. These are the things we have to talk about. And these are the things that your government, the PPP civic government, your party that you voted for, this is the transformation that we are talking about. So we will continue to revolutionize this sector and all the other sectors. My colleagues who are here, from trade and tourism, from housing and water, from local government, they can tell you what is happening in their sector. Massive transformation we are seeing around. And today, we are working very closely with farmers. We did a number of farm-to-market roads. Over 12 pieces of machinery we have brought to this region over the last 4 years. Excavators, amphibious excavators, small machine, and very shortly we'll distribute some more of those machines to the farmers. So this sector, the agriculture sector and Essequibo itself, Region 2, we are in for massive transformation. Massive transformation will continue. Y'all remember in 2015, when the APNU AFC went into government, the most lucrative rice deal, they lost. So much so a number of farmers, Hack is in front here, they will tell you they bought paddy from the farmers and they were unable to sell the paddy because the contract they end the contract, the APNU AFC. Y'all remember? Only recently, the president instructed that these people must be paid. Over $450 million the government will be made available shortly to pay these farmers. So all the ills, because that AFC, APNU, they never had a vision. We have seen the deterioration of the agriculture sector. We have seen the decline in the agriculture sector. We have seen almost every single thing. They closed down sugar estate. Thousands of people were placed on the breadlines. We have seen the rice farmers. They say the first 21 days, they will deal with a number of issues. The first 100 days, they will try to resuscitate or improve the rice industry. When the rice farmer went, y'all remember the meeting that Granger had at the convention center? He said rice is a private business. Well, rice is not a private business for us in the PPP civil government. Since then, what we have done, as I said, we have seen a massive transformation. We are giving free fertilizer, subsidize the fertilizer costs. We are giving seed paddy. We are trying to help with chemicals. When the paddy bug was attacking your rice field, we provide free chemicals. We provide the jackalope pumps that we build. 5 jackalope pumps we provide for Region 2. We provide all the NDCs with pumps so that they could, and these are the investment that we're talking about. So when I talk about over $10 billion was expended in this sector alone, you could see on all these development that we are talking about. So we are hoping to expand production. As I said, we don't only want to produce the crops that we used to produce or we are producing all the time. We will increase production in those areas, rice, fruits and vegetables. We have started aquaculture. We have transformed the aquaculture industry. We have started the marine cage. You have 3 areas in here, Kapoi, Mainstay, and Mashabo. We started the pilot project. It was successful. We'll install another 50 cages shortly. More area in the Essequibo coast. I went not too long ago, a month ago in Bethany. I gave them a machine there. We give them planting material. So we are making these areas more resilient so that they can produce more crops. We are now, and the president said, how we can attract young people into agriculture. Many of you all would know that young people, they have a stigma to agriculture. They don't want to get involved in agriculture. They feel that agriculture is a menial job. They feel that agriculture is for old people. So we are changing that perception. Today, a number of young people, hundreds if not thousands of young people are involved in agricultural activity. We are now modernizing the sector. We are building shade houses across the country. To date, over 450 shade houses were built in different parts of the country. Those young people who went to University of Guyana, to the Guyana School of Agriculture, and who have studied agriculture, who have a degree, who have agronomy, today they are involved in what they have learned in the classroom. They are involved directly. Some of them are making their livelihood in agriculture. Because what we are doing, we are making agriculture more easy for them. We are doing it in a more modern way. We are doing shade houses. We are doing hydroponics farms. We have one of the largest hydroponics farms in the Caribbean at Manripo. And right here in Region 2, $2.5 million will be expended to build a hydroponic farm for young people. Because we have formed a company where we have young people as shareholders. The Agriculture Innovation Entrepreneurship Program that the President formed. And that company has been attracting young people
to come into it. At the end of the year, they will get dividend, but at the same time, they are learning the practical way how to do agriculture and the more modern way how to do it. So we have now a lot of young people now are in the sector. So that's the way we are transforming the sector. That is where now Guyana is being seen as the leader in agriculture in the Caribbean. In the aquaculture industry, as I said, we have started with the marine cages. We had 3 areas that we did the pilot project. It was successful, and we will continue to expand that area. On the quarantine, we have started with the brackish water shrimp. The president called us today. He said that these people were doing it in a subsistent way. Let us work with them. Let us see how we can rehab and develop their farms. They were producing 10,000 kilograms monthly. From the January this year, we have started it 2 years ago. And from the 10,000, we were able to expand it and increase production. Our first target was about 120,000 kilograms monthly. Although we haven't completed the entire project, we are about 80% completion. We have now, up to the end of November, we have produced 1 million kilograms of brackish water shrimp. 1 million kilograms of brackish water shrimp from the same subsistence farmers. Last year, that industry earned $1.8 billion. That is a vision, an idea. That I'm telling you about visionary leaders. And we have a visionary leader who guide us. And we are going to these new areas of food production. As I always said, I am not being prejudiced here, but one of the most important sector for us is the food production agriculture sector. We have to produce food. We can't live without food. And we will continue. And the president has a genuine interest. He's very passionate about this sector. He always call in the middle of the night and say, we have to do something. We have to improve this. We have to get farmers to earn better. Find market for the farmers' produce. Get the farmers to increase yield. We have increased rice production yield from 5.5 tons per hectare to 6.1 tons. We have better variety. We have put out 2 new varieties, or three new varieties of rice. We are now growing the zinc, the supplement in the rice, the biofortified rice. So all these developments are taking place in the agriculture sector. And I want to tell you, as Minister of Agriculture, I am happy to receive those guidance from His Excellency. He himself normally goes and visits these areas. We have started the production of prawns. Up to this morning, he was asking me when we will complete and when we will have the entire project completed so that we can go into massive production of prawns. We have already started to harvest prawns at Anvawak. Those are new development. We never heard about those things before. We are now building a feed mill where we will be producing our own larvae. The larvae is the small shrimp what to grow in there, the small prawns that to grow in the ponds. We are now producing our own tambaki fingerlings right at Manripo because we built a hatchery. We are now building a feed mill so that we can, rather than bringing these things from Brazil, we're producing it right here in Guyana. Yvonne can tell you about Mainstay. She's here, about the marine cage. Right? And we are working with a number of communities, not only in the poultry sector, in the livestock sector. You will hear farmers. We are working very closely with them. We have started to produce our own hatching eggs. We never in the history in our country produced hatching eggs. Last year, we produced 27,000. Up to June of this year, we produced 96,000. I am hoping that will continue to increase, but we got a far way to go. We are using approximately 53 million hatching eggs annually. So what we are doing now, we are setting up a breeder program where we are hoping by the end of 2026, we can produce all our hatching eggs in Guyana. Those are the vision that we have. Those are the vision from His Excellency and the guidance that we are receiving. So comrades, I know I can go on and on. I know you want to listen to the president, but I am telling you this morning that we have a president with a vision. Our government is moving in the right direction. We are seeing massive transformation in all the sector, health, education, housing, tourism, you name it. In the agriculture sector, we are seeing a revolution taking place. And with your help, with your support, when we continue in government, we will continue to revolutionize the agriculture and make Guyana once again the food basket of the Caribbean. So ladies and gentlemen, this morning I want to introduce to you your leader, a leader with a vision, a leader who is transforming our country, a leader who will bring recognition, international recognition to our country. Ladies and gentlemen, your president, our president, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali.
Thank you very much, comrades. Please have a seat. Good morning, everybody, once again. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of you for sharing your time this morning with us. As you know, this is another one of quite a few visits I've made to Region 2. And we made a commitment to you and every single region in this country that we are going to work with all of you, that we will ensure that we are held accountable to you, and that all the commitment we make to you, that we will ensure that those commitments are all kept, and that we deliver to you every single day of the year. And I want to say to you that I'm very humbled and proud at the same time to stand before you and to say to you that we have fulfilled every single commitment we made in the manifesto, and we have surpassed all of those commitments. We have surpassed all of those commitments. And for me, it is very important that the population we serve, the people we serve, must have trust in us. If you can't trust the people you lead, then on what basis can you support them? And for 5 years, between the period 2015 and 2020, you saw a government that betrayed every single promise they made. You saw a government that brought enormous hardship on the people of Essequibo. The people in every region of this country, but in Region 2 particularly, you had enormous hardships. As the main aspect of your economy, agriculture, rice, was taken out of the government support system. And the government adopted a philosophy that rice and agriculture is private business and you must be left on your own. You saw enormous increases in your rates, your land rentals. You saw limited support for crop development, in research and development, increasing yield, productivity. But since we came back to office, the investment we have made has brought tremendous improvement in the various sectors. For rice, our productivity has increased from about 5.5 tons to 6.1 tons per hectare, and we must compliment the farmers too. These accomplishments are not accidental. They are as a result of direct policy intervention. Direct policy intervention to support the growth and expansion of the economy here in Region 2. And I will give you a few examples in the next couple of minutes. But as you're aware, last year, to support agriculture and our farmers, we announced a subsidy in the form of fertilizer of $1 billion. You remember that? You remember last year, we announced subsidy in the form of fertilizer for $1 billion? Many of you, the farmers, would have benefited. Am I not right? And this would have brought tremendous ease for you. Am I not right? This morning, I want to say to you that we're going to even exceed what we have done before. And this year, we're going to allocate and give to the farmers and the agricultural sector a further subsidy in the form of fertilizer of $2 billion. We're doubling it from last year. $2 billion in fertilizer will be the fertilizer subsidy for the agricultural sector this year. This is a government that understands the importance of investing in people, investing in community, investing in productivity, and investing in the holistic development and expansion and improvement in the lives of people. We are also not only concentrating on the big things. For a matter of fact, when I came here the first time in OP Direct, we had almost 900 individual issues raised. That was during the period of COVID, just coming out of COVID. More than 900 individual issues were raised. I'm happy to tell you that we have completed or resolved more than 800 of those issues. When the Vice President was here recently, 411 issues were raised by individuals. We have resolved more than 350 of those 411 issues. And every single commitment that we made, we were able to keep. I recall in my very first visit, when we came into office, one of the main issues was that of power generation. The plants were not maintained and they were breaking down very often. And I said that we're going to invest in more capacity, we're going to invest in the transmission and distribution, and we're going to invest in solar. A solar off-grid, solar farm off-grid. Today, I'm pleased to say that as I speak to you now, we have about 11.3 megawatts in the system, right? 11.3 megawatts in the system. Your peak demand at the moment is about 8.5 megawatt. During the holidays, it will go up a bit. And we're going to add, before the end of this year, another 1.5 megawatt into the system that will come up. So it will take it to about 12.5 megawatts. And by the first quarter next year, an additional 3 megawatts of power will be installed in this region. To complement this, without the transmission and distribution investment, we can't get anywhere. Because if the transmission and distribution system is poor, then the movement of the power will be inefficient. For 5 years, 2015 to 2020, we had almost zero investment on maintenance and transmission and distribution. We've invested, since I came here the first time, coming into government, $300 million on the transmission and distribution system. If you look at the per capita investment, when you take all the investment we are making in this region, you know, sometimes you ask, where is the money going? When you look at the roads we are building, investment in education, agriculture, D&I, the investment in pensions, the investment in the Because We Care grant, when you look at the totality of that investment, over the last 4 years, we've invested on behalf of every citizen of Region 2 more than $3 million. For every man, woman, child, baby that exists in Region 2, we've invested on each of you more than $3 million. We have almost double investments made between 2015 and 2020. Not double. In some cases, the investment has increased by 1,000%. When you look at education, water, I just visited the new underdamming plant. That alone is over $1.2 billion. It will come in operation by February next year. It will deliver treated water to 25,000 persons here in Region 2. These are real investments. The new hospital that we are building, state of the art, will carry every single facility that you get in Georgetown. Whether CT scan, MRI, ultrasound, 75 beds, an ICU, an NICU. We will need close to 800 persons to man that hospital. We are already looking at the skill gaps and skill shortages so we can import them, because we want you to get the highest level of service and the best quality of service at that hospital. These are real investments that are before your eyes. When I came here the first time, just 3 years ago, residents of Walton Hall, Paradise, and Friendship Pomeroon raised the issue with me of their transport. They were living there for decades without any transport. I am pleased to tell you that in the period, we have been able to complete all the legal work, all the surveys, all the technical work, and now 367 transports are ready. Some are already delivered and the rest will be delivered. 367. The government invested more than $60 million to do all the legal work, all the technical work, all the surveys, so that those residents could have gotten their transports. That is 367 happier families. When we came the first time, the squatter settlement in Charity that never had roads, bridges, we went and invested hundreds of millions of dollars. This morning, when I came to Essequibo, I got a message from one resident asking me to come and visit to see how beautiful their community is now. And the resident went on to tell me their property is now valued 4 times the value 3 years ago. Imagine what that means. If you had a property that was valued $4 million 3 years ago. And today you can go to the bank and get a valuation of $20 million. Your net worth, your net value has increased by $15 million in 4 years, just because of the bridges, the roads, and infrastructure we put in there. You can now borrow a $15 million loan from the bank and invest. This is a story of development. This is a story of progress. This is a story of advancement. This is the story of the People's Progressive Party civic government. And you know, I can come here and give you all the numbers and be held accountable for all our commitments, even the small commitments that we give. The 411 persons, we can tell you, the small commitments like following up an NIS issue, down to that level, we are accountable to you. I can come back today and tell you what we've done on each of those cases. Isn't that a government that cares? Isn't this a government that believes in you and works in your interests? On the other hand, the last government, the APNU-AFC government, they are hiding from their record. They never speak about their period in government. There is nothing to show. I'm sorry, there is something to show. When you go to Georgetown Park, pass by Durban, the Durban Stadium, you see the youngsters, them laughing? That is their legacy. That is their legacy. They're hiding from their records. Never want to answer questions. When you ask them for the SOP, they tell you about soap. They asked them about the SOP the other day. What's the lady name? Who? I don't even remember the name. One of the persons at the press conference said, don't ask us about them 5 years, man. Ask me about now. Well, if you want the people to trust you now, then you must tell them why you tried to steal the election, and you must have the decency to say, I'm sorry. You make the people of this country go through hell for 5 months. Our country lost our international credibility. And you can't even say sorry. You're saying, don't ask us anything about that. Don't ask us anything about the rent we increased, the land rent. Don't ask us anything about the increased DNI charges. Don't ask us anything about it because we care grant we took away from your children. What kind of people are those who can't be held accountable for their period? I'll give you our record. Let me give you some other issues that were raised. I'm not even telling you about our accomplishment. I'm telling you outside of the budget, things that you raised that we are doing. DNI. When I came here, the Andrews pump station was raised. Today, they're doing testing for a 3 fixed pump that is now installed at the Andrews pump station. That pump station has a capacity of draining 100 cubic feet per second, each one of the pumps. 100 cubic feet per second. 3 fixed pumps at the Andrews pump station. When I came the last time, I was asked to create the access to open up 12,000 acres of new land in Ononiming. That road is now completed. Access has been created for 12,000 acres of new land. New farmlands. I'm showing you how accountable we are. You raised with the Vice President the necessity of having mobile pumps in the region. the Minister of Agriculture came to me and said that the farmers requested 4 mobile pumps to be placed in the region for emergency. The tender for those 4 pumps are out and will be open soon. And by the end of the first quarter next year, you will have those 4 mobile pumps in your region. Going on, you raised with me, the Minister, and also the Vice President, the issue of the rates for the maintenance of drains and canals. Remember that? The $45 per rod rates. We have all the notes. That was raised. In the new budget, we have instructed that the rates be revised in keeping with what is the rate in the rest of the country, which is closer to $60 per rod. So that too will be addressed. This is how important we take these meetings. Today I have a full team from GPL, GWI, my office, and I want agriculture, housing, I want the technical staff to stand wherever they are. They'll be in one corner. You can stand from my office too. They're going to take all your notes again if there are still issues remaining, so that when we go back, we'll follow up on all those issues again, the staff over there. Because we take accountability seriously in this government. Thank you. Now, the minister in his last outreach brought to my attention a number of farm-to-market access roads that farmers would have raised. Affiance, 1.2 kilometers of farm-to-market access road. Bushrot, 1.4 kilometers. Mariah's Delight, 1.5 kilometers. Queenstown, 1.7 kilometers. Dartmouth, 3.6 kilometers. Bushrot, 1.4 kilometers. This is about 12 kilometers of roads, farm-to-market access roads that were raised. This is outside of the program. You raised this with him. Today, I can tell you that we are already putting aside money to start 50% of these roads so that we can get the work going to give you these farm-to-market access roads. Before the end of the year, the engineers have already done the costing for all of these roads. We're not sitting back because we want to invest in assets that will enhance productivity, increase productivity. When we put these roads in, we want the farmers to go in and make use of the land and increase the productivity of the region. It's not by accident that you're writing me every day. Well, not every day. Almost every month I get 2 letters from Region 2 asking for more boat trips. Asking for more boat trips. That is not by accident. That is because the productivity of the region has increased, commerce has increased, the economy has improved, and the region is on the rise. Only yesterday, I had a meeting with the ministers of public works, and in cabinet, we discussed how we're going to further improve this transport link and to see how we can put additional assets to take care of the rising demand. We are a government in action, on the go. When I was here, you raised the Sparta Golden Fleece Road. Remember that? The Sparta Golden Fleece Road. Today, We have completed 3.4 kilometers of that road. 3.4 kilometers of that road. The bridges linking C1 and C6, 1,000 acres of land will benefit. The control structure on the main canal at Lima, Coffee Grove, Evergreen, and Reliance, those were already also raised. Reliance is awarded now, and Lima, Coffee Grove, and Evergreen also will be completed in the next program. As you can see, we are open book. We don't hide from a record. Open book, every single thing that was raised with us, I can come here and account to you. The healthcare. When I was here, we raised the issue of the lack of the CT scan machine. The new regional hospital will have a full CT scan machine there. My brother is right here from Lake Mainstay. There is the issue of insufficient transportation. Today, we have an off-road ambulance which was purchased to transport patients from the areas of Mainstay, Limasan, St. Denis, and Mashabo. An off-road ambulance. You raise the issue about insufficient training in healthcare and lack of opportunity for your young people. Today, we are building a nursing school here in Essequibo, a nursing school here in Region 2. More than 250 of your children will be going to that school. We'll give them a full stipend equivalent to salary, almost, whilst they're being trained. And when they're finished, they'll get employment right here in Essequibo, right here in Region 2. Guaranteed employment. You raise with me the main public road, bridges and roads, and road. Today, the maintenance program is ongoing, fixing the holes in the bridges on the main public road. You raised with me the defective street lights. We have a program ongoing now. Sunday, they're going to start a new phase to fix all the defective street lights on the main highway. And by the end of the year, we will commence the work of installing street lights within the communities themselves, starting with key and critical hotspot areas. You have raised on other outreaches the Kapui Main Bridge, the Mainstay Access Bridge, 2 access bridge in Mainstay, and the Dartmouth Bridge on the main road. Those bridges were raised for rehabilitation. We have a technical team now working to see what work is needed on those bridges and if any work is needed. When that report comes in, we're going to take the necessary action. So these were some of the issues that were raised at the regional level, outside of the commitments we would have made and addressed in the national budget. These are issues that were raised either with me, the ministers, or the vice president. Additionally, under the Ministry of Local Government, you raised the condition of the markets. Remember? Today we have the charity market ongoing. The Saudi market is now advertised to be done, and the Anna Regina market will be in the budget of 2025. And for those of you who pass Lenora, remember the big market that is beyond the public road all the way in? Go and see how beautiful it is now when people also respect what needs to be done. All the vendors are in the market now, and they're all very, very happy because business is in the market and everyone is benefiting. Fair and equitable. Very soon, the Puerto market will be completed. Well, it's completed, and everyone will move into the facility. If people have safer parking, if the roadways are safer, then they will be more inclined to spend longer time in the market. Longer shopping time means longer buying time. Longer buying time means more money is being spent. Am I not right? And the results, as I said, are enormous. If you look at coconut production, we've almost doubled our coconut production. 6,000 new acres on the coconut cultivation now. That alone should get us re-elected. 6,000 new acres of coconut production. Some countries would not accomplish that in 10 years. And remember, we have accomplished all of this. Don't ever forget. With COVID, we lost 2 years with COVID, 2 detrimental floods, and 1 long, dry drought season. All of that we've accomplished with those conditions. With the world's worst increase in transportation costs, you know this. Worst increase in transportation costs. We have managed and deliver to you, the people of Region 2. So I have highlighted how important these meetings are and how serious we take them. But I will do you an injustice. And as you see, I'm not speaking for long this morning. If I don't tell you how you have been a part of the story of growth and development in this country. In this region, we have spent almost $75 billion in the last 4 years. In education alone, we have spent $6.7 billion. Your children, many of them might be at Christmas party today, no? My son went to Christmas party today. Your children, in the Because We Care grant alone, benefited from $1.7 billion in this region. This was $1.7 billion that the APNU AFC in high daylight banditry took away from your children, extracted from your children's pocket, robbed your children of $1.7 billion. It does not take any type of political correctness to let you know that a government that has given back to your children $1.7 billion deserve your support, deserve your commitment, and deserve your love. It was only a short time ago, 4 years ago, when those that parade themselves today as symbols of hope and justice and pride and dignity, through banditry, extracted $1.7 billion from your children's pocket. That we gave your children without oil. We did not have oil when the PPP civic government gave your children $1.7 billion. They came in, got oil, and took away that from your children. All of them are jumping around now. They never said a word when one of your resident young child in this region from Regina topped the CXC during their period in government, remember what one minister said? Why did the child write so much subjects? Those comments must never, ever be taken lightly. The undertone. These people are living in a class struggle. They believe in class. They use race as a mask to disguise what really they believe in. So why a student from Region 2 wrote 18 subjects? That was the question. When we came here during the campaign, you raised with us that the children in school had to carry money to buy chalk for the chalkboard. Remember? Y'all don't forget this, I don't forget. We said we'll fix it when we came into government. When we came in, we gave the schools in this region a grant of $253 million to date so they can buy supplies to teach their children. Give the schools directly this grant. Where's the redo? Isn't that true? Thank you. When we came, look, teachers here, we were told in my first meeting as president, in OP Direct, we were told the children don't have textbooks. For almost 3.5 years in the 5 years, textbooks were not delivered. Today, we have delivered $213 million of textbooks to your children, benefiting 12,559 students. That's accountability. Benefiting 12,559 students. The school feeding program, more than $379 million. I'm not going to go through all of them. The construction and maintenance of schools, almost $5 billion. And look, I have the records. Every single school I can go through for you this morning. You want me to? Look, it's pages. You want me to do it? You believe me? I got it here, All right. I just want to see I got it, you see? Everything. Every single thing. By year. Good. You've seen it. I'm happy. Even the villages in the river, they raised the issue of teachers' quarters. And what did we do? Where is Mashabo, St. John's, Maybell, Sandy, Akawani, Martindale, Friendship, St. Monica, Bethany, Lima Sands, Mainstay, Abrahams Creek, Wakapau, Kabakaburi. All of these areas we've invested in teachers' quarters. I ain't hearing you. All of those areas we've invested because we want every child to have the same opportunity. We want every child to be able to live their best life. In the Ministry of Public Works, in the last 4 years, and 2 we lost to COVID, we have either rehabilitated or built more than close to 50 kilometers of roads in this region. You can see it all over the region. Am I not right? Am I not right? All right. More than $4 billion. When we came into government, the forestry sector was in bankruptcy. And many of your people in this region work in the forestry sector. Even Falkirk, we there. Even Falkak told me the biggest mistake he made, Ramotar, the biggest mistake he made was 2015, 2020. And not only did he benefit and see the development under this government, I heard the man building a fancy hotel now too. We have spent tens of millions of dollars in training black people in forest management, supporting the forestry sector, investing in community forestry. Imagine I didn't even recognize was you. You look back young, everything now. That is what the PUP Civic do. Rejuvenate, re-energize, replenish. All right. The charity forestry outpost, the supply chain and processing facility at Parika, all of this will support your farmers. Even the energy agency is investing in you. I'm not even going to go into local government budget, into the more than $400 million we're spending on permanent disability. More than $400 million. Never there before. We're spending on people living with disability. The Empowerment Fund, the Public Assistance Program, almost $500 million. The WIN program, Ministry of Health, your entire health care and facility is under transformation in this region. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. We are hoping very soon, by next year, you'll have regional and international matches returning here in Region 2 with the Anna Regina ground completed. Investment in tourism. Every single day people are telling me about how many persons are coming to Region 2 now every weekend. Cars. That is not by accident. That is because of the confidence we've instilled. You had a government, the APNU AFC, that destroyed our credibility for 5 months internationally. And we have a government now that has restored that credibility, and you're seeing the benefit of that credibility. Visitors' arrival. Passengers processed at the airport. Over 1 million already. More people coming in is more opportunity for tourism. More opportunity for tourism is more opportunity to create spending in the region, to fill all these rooms we're building. Very, very key and critical. So my friends, the Ministry of Marine Affairs, more than $1 billion investment directly in our communities. I'm not talking about the LCS fund. The minister spoke to you about Ministry of Agriculture. All of this is because we believe in this region. We believe in the people of this region. We believe in equitable development. We believe in holistic growth. And we are confident that with the People's Progressive Party civic government and with your support, the story of development of this region will continue and will get better and better. I thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, His Excellency. We're really fed today, right? It's lunchtime, and I'm sure everyone is energized and well fed with that lengthy and detailed speech from His Excellency and all the development that is taking place within our beautiful region. I know